There is a just one thing commonly that I just want to discuss with you all guys. See, learning is a process and it is different with every person. So there are some who like to read and then they memorize. Like they learn by reading. They like prefer when they read something, they understand it and they learn it. There are another person, there are other people who read and then they visualize it, right? Okay, they visualize it and then they, after they visualize that what they've read, then they are able to learn it. Then there are third kind. Okay, so those are who read and then they visualize and then they practically do it. They try and write it or they take a note or they like do it and then they are able to memorize it or finally like it is there in their mind engraved kind of. Okay, so try and understand what type learning you are. Let try and understand your own self. So I make presentations, okay, so that it when you have visuals, it assists many people to it assists many people to understand, many people to learn. So I'm that is why I'm not doing only the text. I'm not just putting up your textbook and then reading from it. Okay, so this is not so. And others who like to write also. So when I give you notes, okay, so whenever you read it or whenever I am speaking and I'm giving you something, if you dot down some things, if you write down some points or notes or whatever, so by doing that, it helps some people. So these people are the kind of things, say you call it kinetic learning. Okay, the second is visual learning, and the first is learning by reading. Okay, so try and understand what type of learner you are and then do it according to yourself. Everybody have their own timeline. Okay, just I'm speaking to you and you will memorize everything. That is not so. If, some may, by listening to me only, they can understand, they can memorize it. But some, like after listening also, they like to read it. Okay, they'll read it and then they'll memorize it. And some after listening, after reading, and then while reading, they'll visualize and then they write down something like here do a little practical. Then they will memorize. So try and understand whatever your timeline is. So we were doing money and credit, and already we had taken this chapter last time also. So we will do a quick revision. Okay. Whoa, can you tell me what is the barter system? You can on your
Exchange of
camera.
goods.
So yeah, Binav, you go ahead. What is the barter system?
An exchange of goods between two different individuals who have each other's desired goods
Without the use of money.
without the use of money.
Yeah. Okay. And can anybody tell me, other than you, drawbacks of the barter system?
Ma'am, I'll drink coffee and come, ma'am.
Yeah, tell.
Ma'am, I'll drink coffee and come, ma'am.
Okay. Moksha, are you going to tell me the drawbacks of barter system? Moksha, are you there, dear? Daria, are you there? Tell me what are the drawbacks of the barter system? Sumuk? You tell me, okay, Abhinav.
Ma'am, one is the coincidence of one having others desired goods.
Yeah, the lack of double coincidence of wants. Coincidence of wants. Double coincidence of wants. This is the phrase, okay? And
That's it.
measuring, okay? Common unit for measuring. also, and the indivisibility of certain goods. How do we divide the goods, right? And
Yes,
also
sir.
there is problem in storing the commodities. How do we store it for further use, further exchange? Sorry, future exchange. Okay. Next, I think we had done the evolution of money, and also we started uh, bank. We also read on how do the banks, what do the banks do with the deposit? What is the uh, and also what is the primary income of banks? We have done that. Also, we did credit, right? What are the two different situations of credit? Let me share my screen now. Do you see my screen?
No.
Okay, just a minute. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
My laptop is hanging. Just to give me a few minutes, please. Yeah. Okay, you see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay. So we had done the two different credit situations. Okay, that is the positive and the negative. I had explained that we will not do that. We spoke about the debt traps. Okay. Can anybody tell me what are the debt traps? Anybody? Right? Debt trap. What is the debt trap? Okay, it is a situation where the person takes loan upon loan, okay, and is not able to pay back. And because of this, he falls into a debt trap. Okay, so why do farmers in rural areas fall into debt trap? Okay, these are the bullet points that we have here. Let's take the first one. In India, about 80% of the farmers are small farmers. Okay, and cultivation involves okay, costs on seeds, fertilizers, repair of equipment, labor, etc. Okay, so because of this they take loan. Fine. And when they take loan, if the harvest is not good, okay, the harvest takes it for 3 to 4 months. So they have to, even if they are doing good, they have to pay interest for 3 to 4 months. Okay. Just a minute, I'm having a little problem. Okay, now repayment of loan is dependent on the income from the farming. Of course, they have taken seeds and they've taken payment for the irrigation and all that. They have to depend on the farming. And if the harvest goes bad, okay, if the crops fail uh, due to any reason, it could be climatic reason. Okay, the farmers were not able to pay back, and hence the cycle of borrowing makes it impossible for the farmers to repay. Next, we'll talk about the terms of credit. Okay, now whenever you want to take a loan, whenever you want to take a loan, okay, there are certain formalities that that we have to do. Okay. So what are those formalities? First of all, when a person wants to take loan, what does he need to do? He needs to look into the interest rate. Okay. The documents required, like it may be Aadhaar card, PAN card. Okay. Bank balance, bank statement and all that. And also you should understand the mode of payment. How am I going to make the payment? Is it going to be via bank or via check or via cash? Okay. And the most final thing is the collateral. The collateral, what is collateral? Collateral is an asset the borrower owns, and it is used as the guarantee by the lender until the loan is repaid. In case you are not able to repay the loan, your collateral or that asset is seized. Okay. It can be land, building, vehicle, livestock. Livestock means your cattle, goat or a buffalo or a cow, whatever you have. And even deposits with bank. It could be a fixed deposit, FD and all that. If the borrower fails to repay the loan, the lender has the right to sell the collateral to obtain payment. Often you must have heard of auctions. In case you are not able to, those who are not able to repay the bank takes their property and sends it out for auction. Okay. Variety of credit arrangement. Let's study about this. What are the variety of credit arrangements? Okay, now first of all, we'll talk about the landless laborers. So these are people who do not have any land, okay, and they are laborers. Okay, now they have no land and they depend on the employers or the landowners. They, in case they need any money, it could be someone sick in the family, or it could be daughter's marriage, okay, or so they borrow from their landowners or from employers, and what happens, they often have to pay higher interest, higher than the banks. Okay, so these people are exploited. Next are the small farmers. The small farmers take also loan from the traders. Okay, that is, you could say a sahukar, or you can say money lender. Okay, that the person who lives in his own you can say locality. Okay, so what he does, this is here when the farmer takes loan, they have to he takes it often for inputs like seeds and fertilizer and all that he wants to do. So this also is he takes in a high interest rate. Okay, and there is an agreement with the money lender that he will pay when he sells his crops, or the money lender takes his crop and sells at his own wild price. Okay, and he often the farmers is paid very low price for this. Okay, so even the small farmers are highly exploited. Next comes the medium farmers. Okay, the medium farmers, they have Aadhaar card, they have PAN card, they have a small land. Often it happens. So these people receive loans from the bank because they are able to fulfill the formalities of the bank. Okay, now this, of course, the bank's interest are low, so they enjoy a low interest rate. Okay, and they have they fulfill all the formalities of the bank credit. Okay, now these medium farmers are better off. Okay. Next are the loan from the cooperatives. So cooperatives are what a society or a pool of members, okay, and for their resource for cooperation in certain areas. So pool resources. Do you understand what is a cooperative mean? Many people together, they will collectively farm their land. Their lands are together, okay, and then they will take a loan from the bank. So now they have to pay very less interest. It is lesser than the bank also. Okay, because they invest their own money in their own resources. Okay, all of you will understand the differences between the four. Anybody has any question? Anyone who does not understand, I'll explain again. Do you understand the cooperatives?
Can you explain it again?
Yeah. Explain again. Okay, I'll explain it again. See, for cooperatives, like in medium farmers, okay, he's a single person. Now, when it is a cooperative, here there is a membership. Okay, like I'll give you a small example. Okay, now there is we are about 50 friends. Okay, all of them will put in 1,000 rupees. Now, if you are 50, so how much money you have?
3,000.
50,000. Okay. Now 50,000 you have. Now this 50,000 you will use in your agriculture. Okay. Now you understand. So the
Yes,
person who has only 1,000 rupees, he is able to do his farming because collectively everybody is invested in the land, and 50,000 is there invested, right? So now when the harvest is there, right? So harvest is there and then the money is paid back. So the interest is even often it is lower than the bank also. Do you get it? Do you get the point? How
yes,
cooperatives work? Yeah, often even in urban areas also there are many societies who make a cooperative, who register. And there are societies, and every member have to invest, I think about 10,000 or 5,000, and then they collectively give it. Then there is a lottery, they take it out, and then whoever's name comes out, that person gets all the money. Okay, and then next month again they do the same thing. Okay, and so in this way, one person gets a collectively a huge amount for his whatever business he is running. Fine. So this is something non-government. Okay, it is these are run by NGOs or cooperatives. Okay, let us talk about, everybody understood now, or I'll explain it again. What is cooperatives?
understood.
Okay, fine. Next, we'll talk about the sectors of credit in India. So we have formal and we have informal. Okay, here is I have it, I have this chart here. I will send this to you. Now, people obtain loans from different sources. Like I told you, he'll take from his employer, or he'll take from his the money lender, or he'll take from the bank. Okay, so the sources there, formal sectors, there is banks and cooperatives. Okay, cooperatives are also registered societies. Fine. Informal, there are these money lenders, landowners, traders, employers, or you can borrow from the relative. Okay, now this is a chart next year. Here, who is involved? The Reserve Bank of India is involved. Okay, the guidelines of the minimum cash reserves is followed, inclusive to all, not just profit-making businesses. And the documents are monitored. Okay, they have to pay, you have to fulfill all documentation formalities. Like you have to submit a collateral, you have to submit your bank statement, you have to submit your Aadhaar card, your PAN card. Okay. You have to give your address proof. Okay, everything. But when it comes to informal sector, the borrowers are exploited. Okay, so even are exploited, and there is no transaction records are maintained. There is no you say no documentation often. Okay, and use of unfair means are there. Okay, they can use the landowners, or you can say money lenders, they use harassment. Okay, and they can even employ goons to harass the person who has borrowed the money. Okay, now the cost of borrowing, when it comes to the formal sector, it is relatively low, but when it comes to the informal sector, it is very high. Okay, it could go to often it happens so much that the person is not able to repay. Everybody understand this difference, formal and informal?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so these are the graphs that is there in, I think, in your book also. Why do rural households go to the informal sector? This question might come to your exam, and it often does. Okay, so I have put in the answers in bullets, but you have to expand your answers. Okay, because this is no science. You have to expand your answers. So just for you to memorize, I have put it in bullets. Okay, they are not people. The rural people or household are not familiar from the former career system. Like they do not understand the interest rates. You can say the interest rates. Okay, what is the interest rate? They do not understand the documents. Okay, they don't have, often they don't have Aadhaar. Okay, they don't have the PAN card. Okay, and often because in most of the villages, the uh, their houses and their properties are ancestral. Okay, and there are no papers, no registered papers. Okay, you can say land papers. Okay, they have difficulties in arranging papers. Okay, so because of all these people and because they are not well educated, so they feel panic. They panic because of all these formalities. They do not understand. They cannot read. So this you can say lack of education, absence of collateral. Absence of collateral, they have no land, they have no property. They are plowing and they are farming in another person's land. Okay, so lenders borrow, no borrowers personally. So they'll go say, Babuji, give me some 1 lakh rupees I need for my farming, and the Babuji will give. Okay, so this is the form. This is the way. So willing to give loans without collateral. That person is the money lender is ready to give loan without a collateral. He does not need a collateral. So come here and just sign here. Okay, अंगूठा इधर लगा देना है. Yeah, you just put your thumb here, and you can get the money. So this is the first problem with the rural people. Now, what is the solution? What is the solution to this problem? Number one, okay, the banks and the cooperatives should increase their lending in the rural areas and decrease the dependence of the informal sources. If they go to the farmers and if they explain to them that this is no rocket science, you can easily fulfill the formalities. Okay, you can make your house papers, you can get it, like you can get the papers made, whatever property you have, and you can also apply for an Aadhaar card, you can apply for a PAN card, and you can take out your bank statement, open an account in a bank. Okay, and then they should be educated. Okay, along with the expanding the formal sector credit, a check should be in place to ensure that the needy receives credit. What happened? There are middlemen. Okay, you people do not understand, but this is the you can say the bitter truth of reality. A middleman goes to the farmer. I can get your things done. Okay, you have to pay me so much. So if he is taking a 1 lakh rupees loan for the farmer, he will eat up 20,000 rupees, the middleman. Yeah, and the farmer will get only 80,000 out of 1 lakh. The rest goes to the middleman. So so this should be put into check. Okay, that the needy receives credit, and create self-help groups. Self-help groups are doing a very you can say commendable job here. Okay, how? See, like I told you, people will come up together and then they will invest in something. So let us talk about self-help groups. These have this is a small group of 15 to 20 members, okay, in a rural area, and particularly these are women organizing themselves to pool the savings. Like I said, like I told you, every member will put in 1,000 equal amount, and then that amount becomes a big amount, and then they invest it. Okay, so what is the functioning of the self-help groups? They meet regularly and then they save. Okay, now members take loans on low interest rates. So if a member of the 15 and 20 group, somebody needs the money, like I need money because my daughter is getting married. Okay, so everybody says, okay, fine, this big amount goes to you, and a small interest rate is given to them. So the group takes decision regarding loan purpose, amount, interest rate, repayment schedule. Okay, these are all decided among themselves. So it is, you can say, it is a friendly talk over there, and then they decided. So they may avail loans from various banks without collateral at a reasonable interest rate because these are big groups on themselves. So banks also trust them. So banks, even if they are short of funds, although from their members also, if they're still they need a bigger fund, they can bank easily trust them. Bank trust them because they are big groups, so they can take avail loan from the bank in lower interest rates. The group is responsible for the repayment of the loan because bank is going to help, not going to does not have to run after an individual person. Bank goes to the self-help group, okay, that is registered with the government. Now it serves as a platform for women to discuss various issues such as health. Okay, now whenever they come to discuss all their amount or finance, also they start to talk about what other things. Okay, people are talking about social relationship, people talk about health, and also they'll talk about their problems like domestic violence or child abuse or anything. So one of a success story is that of a Grameen Bank of Bangladesh. Okay, that was started in 1970, and it was a small project. It started as a small project, fine. And as of 19, the data is there. October 2014, 8.63 million members were there in this group. That's a big, huge amount that is spread around 8,390 villages. Okay, all borrowers are women and they all belong to the poorest section of the society. On the who the founder of this group? He is Professor Muhammad Yunus. Okay, and he received the Nobel Prize for Peace in 2006. Right. So we have come to the end of the chapter. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let us do question and answers. The currency notes on the behalf of the central government are issued by whom? Okay. Note down the answer. It is by the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, now why do banks ask for collateral while giving credit for a borrower? Like I told you, collateral is an asset that the borrower owns, okay, and it is taken as a security. Okay, it is taken as a security. It is taken as a security against the money borrowed. Okay, now in case the borrower fails to repay the loan, the lender has the right to sell the asset or of the collateral. Now, why do banks do the deposit they accept from customers? Let me take the question from the reader that you have. Why is this not being shown? This question is important. How does money solve the problem of double coincidence of loans? This often comes to your exam, but I want to take up your question answers in the reader. Okay. Just a minute, let me just insert your reader here. Just give me a few minutes. This is downloading. Okay, now in your reader, we have the first question. In situations with high risk, credit might create further problems for the borrower. Explain. Okay, we have it. We don't have it yet. Just a minute. Let me stop the share and I will give you another share. Yeah, you see the question and answers? Somebody say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
First it
Yes,
is
ma'am.
Yeah, in exercise, first we have in situations with high risk, credit might create further problems for the borrower. Explain. Can you explain?
ये कैसे इतना डियोन
What happened? How will it create further problem? Can anybody answer? Okay, so just let me give you another. Do you want me to dictate the answer or should I show you write down the answers? Just note it down. The answer, note down the answers. Okay, a situation in which the borrowers are not able to repay the debt incurred. Okay. In situation with high risk, credit might create further problems for the borrower. Explain. We'll have to what happens in a situation with high risk where the person is not able to what are the risk? Yeah. Cultivation they take up cultivation cost. Cultivation involves a considerable cost on seeds, fertilizer, pesticides, water, electricity, repair of equipment, labor, etc. Right? So farmers usually take a loan at the start of the cultivation to meet their expenses and repay the loan after the harvest. And this creates a stretch of 3 to 4 months. Okay. This is the second bullet. Just let me share this answer with you. Yeah, here is the answer. Okay, you see my second screen, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the answer. What is the high risk? That is that the high risk is the same thing as you can say debt trap. High, you can say debt trap, or you can say high risk. Okay, it is the same thing. Fine. It is high risk in your exercise book, in your reader, but it is the same thing if you have to talk about the debt trap. This is the answer. Next is the question is, how does money solve the problem of double coincidence of wants? Explain with an example of your own. Okay. The answer is, how does money solve the problem of double coincidence of wants? Explain the example of your own. Okay, now here it is. In barter system, both the parties must require things of each other. Okay, then only the deal is possible. Money solves the problem of double concept of wants because the person who gets money can buy anything from that money, right? Example here we have, if I want to buy 1 kilogram of rice from a shop, I can simply buy it by paying money. and the shopkeeper can purchase anything from that money or may save it. Fine. Let's take the third question. How do banks mediate between those who have surplus money and those who need money? Yeah, how do banks mediate?
It's called the intermediation role of the bank, right?
Yes, very good. So those who have surplus money, they deposit the money in the bank, okay, and they get some interest also. Okay, example, if you deposit rupees 1 lakh in a bank might give you an interest of 5 to 6%. But if you take a loan of 1 lakh, bank will charge you 11 to 12% interest. Okay, in this way, the bank earns profit. Fine. Let's take up the third question. The next question is, okay, look at a 10 rupee note. What is written on top? Can you explain this statement? Okay, now on the top is written India. It is written Reserve Bank of India. That means it is guaranteed by the government, okay, and this is written on the top. Okay, now in India, only Reserve Bank of India has the right to issue currency notes. Fine. Nobody else, no other currency is used here. The statement means that the currency is authorized by the central government, and it means that one can use the currency all over India. Fine. So if you, this might come, these often come in your thing, in your exam. Let us take. Okay, what are the basic idea between why do we need to expand formal success of credit? That I have also given in the just explained. I have just explained you what is the basic idea behind the self-help groups for the poor. This also I have just explained you. And what are the reasons why the bank might not be willing to lend to certain borrowers? What are the reasons? The reasons are the same, like I told you, they do not have the formalities or they do not have the collateral. Okay. We have ended this chapter. If anybody has any question, I'm willing to take it up. Okay. And I will share also the presentation with you. And also I want you all to read the chapter also on your reader. Go through these notes and then attempt the question and answers also. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Anybody has any question? Good.
No, ma'am.
Thanks.
Thank
So everybody
Thank you.
give me a thumbs up, then we will end this chapter. Okay. Okay then. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks all
Bye,
of you.
ma'am.
We have an English class after an hour at 7:10. Okay.
Yeah. Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.